Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rune and this is my channel Evolve with Rune. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you that are new here, I am a professional intuitive empath and I'm so grateful that you invited me into your energy field today, your lives, your psyches, and your hearts and minds. I have a treat for you today. I think it's a treat. And so we're going to get right into that. It is something that I was really guided to do for you around the eclipse. So what I did was, before I went away on my trip, I ordered a brand new bag of dragon's blood sage, and they asked me to channel a beautiful from one of my favorite brooches. They asked me to channel this is the Phoenix Rising, which also happens to look like the dragon. They asked me to do a dragon Phoenix Rising reading. I don't even know what that means, but we're gonna do it. They gave me very specific instructions. They wanted dragon's blood sage for you guys. They said to do it after the eclipse as well. They also said to use runes. I've got them here. So we're going to do a runic reading as a clarifier, as well as some goddess and oracle tarot, goddess oracle and tarot as well. So that's what you need to know, and we're going to get started. I don't know how this is going to go. I do have a client coming up, and I've been doing a lot of other readings that are going to be uploaded here for you guys that are corresponding with the Crystalpedia. So if you see this before you see that, go check out yours if you left your number, your page number below on the last video that I have up, I do believe. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's get our brand new pack of dragon's blood. I usually keep dragon's blood on hand because it's really powerful for grounding, root chakra, sensual, sexual energy. However, I had used it, so I also think it's very symbolic that we're starting with a new thing. This is very symbolic too because this is the year of the dragon, and I'm also channeled to recommend carnelian for a lot of you guys too, for your grounding and manifestation and passionate energy. Last night I had dinner at a restaurant called Cadence, so there's something about harmony and rhythm. But I was sitting next to an engineer, an Asian woman. I thought that was actually very apropos and culturally appropriate, who was wearing dragon earrings as well, and I complimented her on those. The experience was an omakase experience where the chef makes everything for you. It was fantastic. And so yeah, I'm going to be posting some pictures about that shortly. It was an incredible experience. Anyway, so there's something about, I'm already getting the channeling here, something that is specifically curated for you. So things that come out in this reading are specifically curated for you. The angels are going to work with you to get that message through to you. But they said that there are things that are specifically correlated for you. A unique experience that you get because you've earned it. So blessings is what I just heard. Because you decided to go through the fire like the phoenix and come out. Look how beautiful this is, guys. This is just one of my favorites. You chose to go through the fire, and trying to get a thumbnail. Hope it works. Like a phoenix. God bless, man. That's beautiful. All right, let's get into it. Angels and ancestors, help me to channel for my collective what they need to know about this transit with the solar eclipse. The fire is very important too. So anytime we're working with fire energy, it got right into my throat. I need to clear my throat chakra. Thank you, angels. Anytime we're working with fire energy, you know, I have my handy dandy torch here, but it's a culinary torch, but I use it for my sage and my Palo Santos as well. But anytime we're working with fire energy, fire magic is going to be very beneficial for you too. And what I mean by that, when I say fire magic, and so I'm just going to like literally hold this up for you to guys ingest and take in energetically. What I mean by that is that you, after this reading, should write down some of the core things that stood out to you, because what you're going to be able to do is manifest by putting what you write under a candle. Okay, you can also write on a candle if you don't have one of those novenas that are inside a glass, and anoint that candle with your favorite oil or any oil of manifestation. Frankincense and myrrh come to mind. There we go. me get it out of the fan. I'm like making it work twice as hard. That might be part of the messaging here for you guys too. Don't work so hard. Work smarter, not harder. Okay. All right, for my collective, please help them to clear out their energy and show them what magical blessings are coming in after this eclipse, after they've done their phoenix rising from the ashes. And so it is. All right, we're going to put this in my cauldron and let it burn while we're working and smoke up the house in the best way. Zip, zip onto this, and we shall begin. All right. What is the Phoenix Rising message? I said start with the runes. Got a little tray here. Okay, guys, so we don't need all the runes. Try that again. Okay. So, we're going to see what we pull out here and take a look. It's going to be hard to show these to you because these are not like flat. These are like on stones. Blue stones for clear speaking. Alright, right away I see a few things here. Let's get into it. Let's find our runic meanings for you guys. Bear with me, guys. I know most readers have this all done and ready to speed up for you. I've got to find my cards. First one is Ophelia. I'm just going to hold up the card because it's going to be hard to hold up the stone for you to see it. So Ophelia is the first card that I have here that came up for you. What else do we have here? We have it's not mayonnaise, but mayonnaise as well. I'm going to hold it so you can see it, but that's the depiction on the card. What else do we have here? So we have Ophelia, mayonnaise in that order. Let's look for the X. Gabo. I love Gabo. That one I am familiar with. Gabo. Thurias. Ooh, powerful. Thurias is another rune here for you. And the last one is... what is that? It's called the most peculiar stone. It's like this little egg-shaped stone. It's so hard to kind of like, it doesn't lay flat at all, so it's like running from me. And so that might be part of your message here too regarding your phoenix rising from the ashes. What symbol is that? I kind of feel like it's this, if I don't see anything else that looks like that. Alright, we got it. Halagaz. Okay. Halagaz. Alright, we're going to take a look inside of the book and see what these are associated with and to clarify them with tarot as well, so that we can see what it is that your messaging is supposed to be. So first one that pops up here, I'm actually going to start with Gabo, which is the gift, which has to do with gratitude, and it relates to feelings that you have when you've given something, as well as your generosity of giving yourselves. It is about material and emotional gifts. It's about devotion. It's also about, are we capable of giving love? And also, are we able to open our heart to the idea of cooperation? What lesson did they learn after their spiritual? And that card again is, I'm going to show it to you, Gabo, which is about the gift. So this is the gift. Okay. Masculine energy there, which means that one of the gifts you may have learned in this eclipse is about balancing that masculine energy. Clarify what Gabo is telling them. The gift that you learned with your Phoenix Rising coming of Dark Night of the Soul, coming to yourself lesson is when to leave. You figure out spiritually when to leave, and you didn't ask for permission, you didn't wait. So that's a huge big thing, and that may have been something that you struggled with. That is now something that is in your arsenal. So it's kind of like, think of Thanos, how he takes the infinity rings. Once you conquer something and it correlates with an eclipse and it's a phoenix rising moment, what your angels want you to know is that you are being very guided. They're guiding me right now to put the phoenix on. You are being guided to understand that you will always be able to do that now. They're saying it's a new skill. I'm hearing new level unlocked, new skill set acquired. New level unlocked, new skill set acquired. Pardon me, guys. Bear with me as I don't poke myself. But get this on. Here we go. I'd love for you guys, they said you guys should be looking at it the whole time. New level unlock, new skill set acquired is what happens when this is the lesson that you've gone through, which is the Chariot. The Chariot is also Cancerian, which is about going to the place that welcomes you and only being in a place that welcomes you. The Cancerian energy has to do with Mother Luna and home. So whether that is your home or whether that is a person, place, or tribe that feels like home, you are being guided to be in spaces that are welcoming to you, and it's very specific that you are being guided to be in spaces that welcome you. All right, clarify the next rune. So the next rune is, it's actually the first rune that came up. What is their Phoenix rising and after the solar eclipse lesson? What is their Phoenix rising after the solar eclipse lesson? Mayonnaise. I'm saying it like mayonnaise, but it's not mayonnaise. I'm hearing I've got my eyes on you. I'm hearing Drake. I've got my eyes on you. I've got my eyes on you. I've got my eyes on you. What does that mean? Who's got their eyes on who? I've got my eyes on you. You're everything that I see. I want your heart, love, and emotion endlessly. I can't get over you. You left your mark on me. I want your heart, love, and emotion endlessly. 'Cause you're a good girl and you know it. Just hold on. I'm coming home. Who's coming home? I don't feel like anyone's coming home to you. This is interesting. Humanity and cooperation. This rune is connected to the sense of union that unites all humanity to the cosmos. God has three faces, one facing the moon, one towards the sun, one looking ahead. His gaze embraces the totality of the world and mankind. This card alludes to cooperation and reminds us that no one man is an island. We are bound by invisible threads that cannot be dissolved. The card indicates collective dreams and the joy of cooperating and having shared projects, unity, and strength. This energy in this rune makes you cheerful and popular. It facilitates communication and exchange with others. I've got my eyes on you, and so what that means to me with so this is about our dualities and also with the sun and the moon there. But what this means to me is that you are coming literally out of hermit mode and they're asking you to reconnect, is what I'm hearing. They're asking you to reconnect. I'm missing something. I'm missing a card specifically. I pulled 5 and I only have 4, which is so interesting to me. All right, let's see what's going on. The other card that comes up here is Othello. I know that this kind of slows it down, guys. I'm so sorry about that. I always want... Well, no, I have Theraz here. So I'm going to read Theraz. No, I have Halagaz. Why do I want to read Theraz to you? Did Theraz? Was it one that I pulled? Othello. They said do it in the order, so I'm going to do it in the order, guys. Because I want to skip around. I feel very frustrated, actually. Halagaz. But that's not it. Give me a second, guys. I feel very frustrated, so I feel like that's part of your channeling here. Because I'm fine. So why am I frustrated when I'm working with the divine? Let's see. Nobility, tradition. This rune is connected to wealth, but above all, what we inherit from our ancestors. Your ancestors are frustrated because they want you to move forward. That's what I just heard. Do we respect our ancestors and their traditions? Which ties do we find difficult to abandon, and which, on the other hand, would we want to rediscover? It anchors us to our identity and reinforces our blood ties and bestows well-being. Some of us have complicated relationships with our blood relatives, right? Even if they're crossed over or here or not. So there are some that were good and some that were not. And so there is this thing in you that they're asking you to identify. Who are you? And after the solar eclipse and in this year of the dragon, to manifest and maximize your energy, what they're saying is they want you, this is very kind of like father energy. Even if your father wasn't a great one, and even if he's not here, there's something about anchoring to the Saturnian lesson of father. Actually, what I'm channeling too is not about your father specifically, it's your ancestral energy, so that's yes, but it's about the Saturn lesson in you. So they want you to examine what it is that you learned in this last dark night of the soul and in this last incarnation. What was your lesson? What did you take away from this? How do you evolve? Because even if this is not about your father, because I'm hearing a lot of your father's abandoned. So it's very specific. I'm channeling Virgo energy and abandonment. Abandonment and Virgo energy and abandonment is coming through. Someone who looked at you when something bad was happening to you and just or knew of things that were happening and didn't take care of you. Even if it wasn't father, this is something that's coming through, and this is a wound. And this is one of the things that came up. This is why they put you in that position, or allow the position that you were in when you had to escape whatever narcissistic kind of energy was dealing with you, because they said that what was happening with you is that they were teaching you not just self-sufficiency, but they were teaching you that they always see. Everything is being watched, even if we don't feel like it is, even if we think we're just down here fending for ourselves. And the lesson in that was about you learning literally how to defend yourself, but also knowing that there are fathering energies ancestrally, or that are not seen, that do look over and care for you. There's also a lesson. This was a long lesson that you just went through with the Saturn energy, and they're saying they want you to understand that it was necessary for ascension and growth, because now you're very grounded and balanced and mature. And even though the maturity came through pain and hurt, Phoenix, through the ashes, you rise again, and you now know your worth. And that is the thing that father energy actually is in our life to teach us, is what I'm just channeling, is our worth. And so they're saying now you know your worth, and it cannot be shaken from you. So this will bode well for you as you move forward in any future interpersonal relationships, because with the other runes that you pulled, when you have this energy of coming back into the emergence of coming out of hermit mode, it's going to be scary for some of us, because you are going to be around people that could potentially take advantage of you, or see you as a opportunity, or not really value what you offer. And so your angels are asking you to trust them, because they said they are watching over you as a father figure that's actually loving, if you didn't have good energy or good juju with your father on this earth. The last card here is the hailstorm and aggression, which was Halagaz. It specifies, which is what the Phoenix Rising moment really is. It's a hailstorm. It's a tower moment. It causes everything to go topsy-turvy, and it challenges you to become this mythological creature, this dragon-like energy, and rise from the ashes. And so Halagaz signifies wind, bad weather, and is connected with dangerous and destructive forces in a time of crisis. It often talks about the unexpected things that happen in life when we're able to foresee dark forces that are set in motion, and all we can do is accept the symbolic death. This is so identically perfect for the Phoenix. All we can do is accept it's a symbolic death, so as to rebuild on top of the ruins, a phoenix rising from the ashes. I have full body goosebumps, because I was feeling really frustrated. I was like, God, this is not the peppy poppy reading that I want to give. And they said, that's not what we asked you to do. We asked you to channel for us and speak truth. And you didn't go through a peppy poppy fun thing. Not every reading can be funny and filled with pop culture references and songs. This, I mean, we didn't have a song, but this is about how you were done wrong. Like, and they want me to really identify that. And so what they're saying here is it's a symbolic for rebuilding on top of the ruins. This card is tied to our darker side and our aggression. We must know them in order to be able to control them. You know, this reminds me of a channeling I just did where I was clarifying a crystal, and I don't remember which crystal it is, but it will be under Ali Wu. It was a reading for Ali Wu, and in it I talked about integrating that person's shadow and darkness, bark and bite. It is very important. In order for you to be the phoenix that rises, you have to get ferocious. You have to be mean. You have to push people away. You have to set boundaries. And so you're integrating your shadow and light in order to be able to do that. You're balancing your masculine and your feminine. And masculine matters more in this case, because if you came to a tower moment, a place of ruin and crisis, you were operating out of a Queen of Cups energy, out of hyper femininity, where people were taking advantage of or walking over you. The balance of the King of Pentacles root chakra energy here with the color red is so necessary, associated with the carnelian and the red of our dragon's blood sage. It's so necessary because what you need to do in order to take your power back is to be firmly grounded, and that's father energy, Saturnian energy, that's earth energy associated with the sign of Capricorn and Saturn, the planet of Saturn, our planet that takes our longest lessons. And so, how we deal with crisis and distressing times is really important. Halagaz, the rune, helps us to become aware of our deepest impulses. Remember, watch that reading with Ali Wu. It might even offend you because it's a call out from your angels about integrating your shadow and your light. But it's so positive because it's saying your bark isn't just worse than your bite, but to acknowledge that you have a bark and a bite. And to understand that about yourself is to be able to actually embody the light. It's not always love and light. We're not always sweet. We don't always just like fall at everyone's feet or let people walk over us like a doormat and then retreat. We have to stand up for ourselves and be in father energy. Think about the difference between a father, whether you had a good one or not, saying get down off of that, and your mom being like, I've told you 3 times. That's feminine energy that you were in versus what you have to be in for those people around you that are haters when you're doing that phoenix from the ashes rising thing. When you're coming from ruins and crisis and dark sinister forces that you can't see, when you're learning to see into the dark night of the soul so that you can rise out of that and regain control of your life, that takes masculine balanced energy, and it doesn't come from an outside source. It comes from inside of thee, because we exist in duality. That part. Come on, angels. Now the reading is flowing. Okay? I was so frustrated. I'm so used to bopping into something and it just working. That's part of my gifting. It's what I am blessed with. With the moon and the sun, the duality there is what they are speaking with this masculine figure here. It is the gift. Your masculine energy is alchemizing and aligning in order for you to be the phoenix rising. And they said to go back to what I said about just being good at something naturally. There is practice that comes in when we're working with Saturnian energy. And so you had to be in the dark night of the soul for longer than you wanted to, because it was about you dying to ego. That's one of the other things that dies in the ruins of the thing when the tower falls, is all of the strife and energy and the confusion it did bring. But now you don't just get to be good at something, you have to practice it. That's your spirituality, that's your spiritual hygiene, that's your discernment. And they made you practice it by putting you around people that were fervent about bringing you down. That's what I just heard. They said they were actively practicing destroying you. They were focused on unaliving you spiritually, energetically, and actually. They wanted to deplete your energy. And they said we had to put you in that position so that you could get out of that Queen of Swords sweetness and sweetie pie empathy and get into that get down off that, what did I say, kind of energy. And I mean that. Step back. You don't know me like that. Halagaz helps us to become aware of our deepest impulses and protects us in moments of crisis and change. Let's clarify that with tarot beyond the King of Pentacles. What do they need to know? 2 of Wands. 2 of Wands. Okay, it's time to go. It's time to go back outside. It's time to go back outside. excuse me, not only have you been successful, and this is orange sacral, back to pleasure, back to fun, back to people, not only have you been successful, but it was time for retreat. It was time to kind of decide what you wanted to do, because you had felt a certain level of defeat is what I heard for you. And they said that this is also true for you, success. With the Six of Wands, that's action towards success. You will be successful. You are seen as a success is what they want you to know, because you passed the test and you chose to grow. And you chose to grow when you didn't even know what was going to be on the other side. You chose to grow when no one was around you and you had no ride or dies. That's what I just channeled. They had no ride or dies. You chose to grow when no one was by your side. There's another card here that they want me to pull, and they said you need to see it, and so I will do and be obedient. They said it finishes up the reading, and they said I dropped the ball. Thurgas. Thurgas. This is the card. This is the rune. Thurgas, which is about fighting. I don't know why I slid it back in. I pulled it out, I looked at it, and then I slid it back in. So let's see what the messages is, so that we can be thinking. There's a strong lesson about practice. Makes perfect. It's a lesson I've been getting a lot here too for myself. And I feel like I've heard it a lot with my clients too. So the collective is sharing it. After this, one of the gifts you get is the ability to focus and to actually work on something repeatedly. Your spirituality, whatever. Your job, a certain skill set and aptitude. But you're almost going to be given like an otherworldly gift with this Phoenix energy to be incredible at whatever it is. Thorn, struggle, and conflict. Yes, out of conflict, with Thurgas being the rune, out of conflict, I just heard excellence is born. Excellence. There's something else that I'm hearing. Expertise is born. This rune is associated with struggle and the dangers involved in completing a challenge. The god of thunder, the divine warrior, kills the poisonous serpent, and to do so, he needs all of the courage. He does not feel a fear or pain of being bitten. You must take risk in order to win. Since the outcome is not clear until the end, you must accept this truth and manage fear. It's time to face your wild side. Balancing that masculine energy, the conquistador in you, the person that would go after a thing. Let's focus our attention on how we react to change. Do we have the courage to get to the bottom of situations, or do we prefer to close our eyes like an ostrich, bury our head in the sand when facing inconvenient truths, perhaps in fear of having too strong a reaction? I'm going to tell you, if you're watching this, you face the truth. You don't have to ask the question of who you are. You are a person that looked a inconvenient truth in the eye, and you have begun to deal with it, or you dealt with it. The Phoenix Rising gift is that you have the power, and you're being imbued. I'm hearing the power of the Black Panther will now be stripped away, but you're being imbued. It's reverse. They say reverse that. You're being imbued with a supernatural, spiritual, mythological power in order to look at things in the face and to call a spade a spade. It's not just something that I'm channeling because the rune says so. And it's not just something I'm channeling because you went through the dark night of the soul. It's not just something I'm channeling because the tower moment happened to you and because you were a phoenix rising like the ashes, doing what you were supposed to do, destined to do, called to do, mandated to do. It's something that is a gift for me that I'm passing along to you. If you are under the sound of my voice, this is something that I do have expertise in, which is looking things that are inconvenient in the face and saying that's bullshit. It's something that I do that causes a lot of fluctuation and disturbances in the lives around me, but it's because I want the betterment of everyone, including myself, for evolution. I am not some perfect specimen, though those that have come up against me may think that I think so. I'm full of shit, just like you, and I want you to know. I see you. I understand my duplicity, but I call myself to the carpet and I hold myself to the highest level of accountability, even if I am acting out of fuckery, because I don't get that pass. Heavy is the head. Yeah, y'all know I'm a Leo. Of course I have a crown nearby. Heavy is the head. We gonna put a crown on top of a crown? It's a double crowning. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And that means that there's a level of responsibility, and accountability that you have to take in order to be good for goodness sake. And that means that people will try to play in your face and act like you don't hold yourself to the same level of accountability in the face of danger, but you do. Do you look a situation in the face and say what is the lie or is the truth? Yes, you do, if you're here, my collective. And if not, then in this year, the year of the dragon 2024, I'm passing this energy on to you. I am passing you the torch. I'm passing you the carnelian energy, the flame of truth. I am a fire sign, so this flame specifically is why I got a flame stone. Not every stone in my crystal collection is a flame, but this felt imperative, important, and heavy. It felt necessary for my own growth. So I'm passing this torch, if you will, figuratively speaking, to you. Because you have truth-telling work to do and you did it. You are not afraid to look something in the face and say it's bullshit, even if it's to your own detriment. And that is the access point. That is the seed, the bedrock of real growth. The power of this rune, it instills courage and clarity of thought. Each time we must face a risk and a potential danger. And I would say to be burnt in the ashes as a phoenix is a potential danger. It is a risk that we take on to burn down our lives, to volunteer to burn down our lives rather than to live a lie. That is such a clear channeling for you. To volunteer to burn down our lives rather than to be entrenched in the living of a lie. I don't care if it's a big lie. I don't care if it's a small lie. If you came to this channel today, you said, bye, bye, bye. Don't want to be a fool for you. Hey, just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye, bye, bye. Fuck them. That part, okay? The crown feels a little wobbly when you get to the hard part. I gotta put it in here because I didn't pin it in and do all the things we normally do. You know, we Leos, we love a good crown. But I'm passing this crown to you. Heavy is the head. It's not my crown. This is for the collective. They said share, and I do. You guys are wearing a new crown in this year. You are crowned because you chose the harder thing. You chose to be incinerated in the ashes to become the phoenix. The lesson is, I heard the lesson has become them. They are the lesson. And anybody that ends up in your path and in your way in this year will feel the effects of truth telling. There was another channeling. I think the gemstone's name is Silomane, spelled with a P. P-S-I-L-O-M-A-N-E, I do believe. And it was for Mr. Chalk. I don't remember the number, but there was something about being a truth teller that unravels things, very phoenix energy, and that stone was helping balance, giving compassionate messages. Maybe you should listen to that crystal reading. It feels like it correlates here, and that's what you need to know. You will have success, my dear. It has already happened for you because you chose to do the hardest thing to do. Sometimes that means walking away from an established relationship. For those of you guys that got divorced, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking to. If you broke up out of a connection and you liked it, guys, I recently shared my own experience of really being attracted to someone, really liking someone, really feeling like I had not met a more compatible match, except they were a liar, which is absolutely incompatible with me. I can't even make this up. Soul forgiveness comes up here. They want you to forgive your inner child, the part of you that couldn't see and that couldn't protect yourself and that had no one that advocated for you. I ended that connection personally in my life because I have spiritual work to do. And someone who will not be radically honest with themselves will never be radically honest with you. And so it doesn't matter how much I like somebody, love somebody, am attracted to somebody. If they on fuckery, toodaloo, bye, 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 Phoenix, I'll burn that shit down while they cry and while I cry. But what I won't do is be living the embodiment of a lie, and neither will you. I love to see it. If you are part of this collective, then you won't allow it to be anything other than that. And that's why this Phoenix energy for you after the solar eclipse says, we have your back. You emulsified yourself like a caterpillar in chrysalis, inside of the pupa, in the pupa stage, whatever, because you wanted to have these beautiful wings. I'm hearing Pretty Wings by Maxwell. That's a song I'm channeling. Those pretty wings, and I think that song might even be about letting something go. it is very much something that is hard to do, and it's even harder to know. You have to look in the eyes of a connection that you may have put a lot of time and energy into. For those of you guys that got divorced after many years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you are abandoning ship regarding a business. Last night when I was at the restaurant, there was a band of brothers that looked like they should be in a rom-com. It was crazy. They were each one, they weren't even brothers, they were friends. They were all so good looking and they almost looked identical. And they had just sold a bar that was in the same district that we were having the dinner in. And they were there on a bittersweet celebratory because they were moving and things were happening. And the eclipse energy affects everyone. I didn't want to give them a reading while we were at dinner, but I was listening to them chat. They were chatting with us, we were chatting with them. And I was thinking, oh, this eclipse season got their ass. But, you know, the ending had to happen, probably for the best and their highest goods, more than they understand. But what they were saying in that with those band of brothers is that something had fallen apart and it was hard. They had to leave a business that they put time, sweat, energy, and money into. And while they sold it and got some gains from it, it was, as they said, a bittersweet thing to do. When the Phoenix energy is upon you in the solar eclipse, you've already got through the bittersweet. And now they want to take you on to a more fixed, grounded state in masculine energy. You made a hard decision like a grown-up does, like a father would even if you never had that example set for you. You did some of the hardest things you ever had to do. You left a business, you left a person, you left a friend, you left a lover, you left a spouse, a husband, a wife, or you left a family member who was being narky and not right. And you burnt that shit down from the ground. And that's why I think they had me working with fire energy today in your face very specifically. Let's see if we can get it lit. They don't want you to burn it down. That's so funny that this thing that has never failed me is going to act up. Hold on, y'all. Hilarious. It has an open and close feature, and I had accidentally slid it to close. Let's see. There we go. I have it turned down because it has a big flame. And I'm also hearing the bluest flame. This is something that you held near and close. The bluest flame. We know that flames are hotter when they're blue. And so whatever you had to burn up was very much a part of you. Very near and dear and entrenched to you. And you still burn that shit up. Because you had spiritual work to do. You had evolution to do. And when you are an empress, a queen, or a king, heavy is the head that wears the crown that makes the decisions about how long we're going to stay in a thing. Because you have to rule for the kingdom, for the greater good of all, and not just for you involved, or them involved, or the collective involved. What is the best decision for the greater good? And with this Phoenix energy, you made a decision that no one else could. You made a decision that you were destined and called to. You incarnated in this life with your Akashic record open and attached to you to show you that this would always be what you had to do for whatever it is. I'm going to pass my Scorpionic energy in the 8th house, my placement there, that doesn't just welcome in endings, because I'm human like you. Endings are not fun for any of us, but I will do what I have to do when someone is telling lies, because in God I trust, and I will not be beguiled, and neither will you. Your High Priestess energy is popping. You are clear, you see, and that's you embodying the fullness of the Phoenix rising energy. That's one of the gifts that you are bestowed, one of the jewels in your crown that you will always have to know that you have with you is discernment. That's one of the jewels that you earned when you burned it. When you sift through the ashes of that fire, there are precious metals and there are precious stones that are not subject to being burned. They come out crystal clear and even harder and shinier. They are fortified in the fire. We forge our impurities in the fire, and sometimes you have to get a big old lighter so that you can take it to the next level, because whoever you were around, whatever situation you were stagnant in, was holding you there because they wanted to keep you with them. But that's not what we're here to do. It's growth. It's always the next level, and that's what you need to know. It's so good sharing energy with you guys. Thank you for joining me. Always keep a crown nearby. Maybe that's another message. And remember, you're bad AF. You did it. People can learn a lesson from you, but it's because you are willing to submit to your lessons first before you ask anyone else to follow you. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of the work that you've put in. This is a powerful reading. Success is your portion now. Six of Wands. Things will be balanced. Balanced connections, balanced opportunities, fairness. That's what the six has to do with. Good business dealings. It's time for you to put the work back into you and self-heal. This is not about having a lot of people in your face. This is about anyone that sees you coming, knowing you are the real deal, because you have put some ashes behind you and you have put the fire and the sun at your face, and you move powerfully into the future, whether people call you a failure or a disgrace, because people wouldn't make the choices that you made, because people don't have the balls, as what I read here from this this card here, the number 3, which is Theraz. Rune instills courage and clarity in thought each time you must face risk and potential danger. You must take risk in order to win. Do you have the courage to get to the bottom of situations, or do you prefer to close your eyes when facing inconvenient truths, perhaps in fear of having too strong of a reaction? I'm a fire sign. Of course my reaction's too strong, but that's okay. I've learned to temper it. But what I've learned often, not always, but often, is that I'm not wrong. You instinctively know things right as they're happening, guys. Don't forget to act on that. Don't forget to have your own back. That's the gift that you will have after a massive attack, after tower moments, after everything falling apart, after tectonic plates shifting and earthquakes and fires raging, after tsunamis that hit your life to get you off your path. You flew away and you transmuted that. You turned into something mythological and otherworldly, fire-breathing, powerful, full of synergy and transformative energy. You are the Phoenix Rising. It is you. You are and I am so honored to be in your presence. And I bow my head to you, collective, because you have done the work you were called to do, and it was never an easy thing for you to do that. But you did it, and you're better for it. And now you ascend, because Phoenix only rise. And you get to see, I just heard, the rainbow's end. Stay tuned. So good sharing energy with you. Come back and join me next time, guys. I got to get to a client, and we'll continue to evolve together.